Hi, welcome back to Box Delights. This is Cascadia. We're going to teach you how to play the solo game today. This is a game by Randy Flynn, illustrated by Beth Sobel. This is the Kickstarter version, though I did buy it at retail, which means I've got an extra card. We'll look at these in a moment. Let's dive straight in and learn how to play. This is a tile laying game. We're trying to make patterns of tiles to score the most points. In the solo game, it is a game of trying to beat your best score, though in the back of the rulebook they do give you achievements, so you can try and reach these achievements. So they have made it a little bit more interesting for you. The rules are pretty short and concise. We should play in about 30 minutes. The game normally plays 1 to 4, we're going to play solo. So these are all the tiles. To start the game in a solo, we shuffle the 85 tiles, we remove 42 and we keep 43. The theme is quite abstract. We're trying to build the most successful ecosystem consisting of 5 different types of animals. Okay? Each type of animal scores in different ways in the way the tiles interact with each other. Okay, and there's lots of variability because there's 4 different ways of scoring each species. That's an additional one if you've got the Kickstarter version. Okay, so the next thing we do is draw a random way of scoring each species. And we also draw one random starting tile. The rest will go back in the box. Let's have a quick look at what we've got to do. In the bottom right is a letter to show which card you've chosen. The one with the star here, that's the Kickstarter version. For your first game, choose all the ones with an A in the bottom right hand corner. So what we've got for salmons, we're scoring 3, 4 or 5 runs of salmon. For red-tailed hawks, we're scoring for the total number of unoccupied spaces next to the hawks. For elks, a straight line. For bears, we're scoring groups of bears, or the size of the group. And then for the red fox, the number of adjacent pairs next to a fox pair. Here's our starting tile, and all will become clear as we set up the game and start playing. Each hex is a habitat tile. Each tile shows 2 things: the habitat, so the type of terrain. So this one here, this yellow one, is prairies. These 2 have got 2 types of terrain on: rivers, wetlands, mountains and forests. And then each tile shows the type of wildlife that that tile supports. This tile can only support foxes. This tile can support the grizzly bears or Roosevelt elks. This one, the Chinook salmon, red-tailed hawk or the red fox. This tile also has a leaf on it. This is called a Keystone Tile, and whenever you place a wildlife token on this tile, in this case a red fox, you gain a nature token. And we'll talk about those a little later. For the start of the game, we draw 4 tiles. This becomes the offer of tiles that we can select from. And we draw 4 wildlife tokens to pair with them. On your turn, you can take one of these pairs and then place them in your expanding environment, trying to match these patterns, remember? For example, let's say I choose to take this pair. I can now place the habitat tile anywhere in my environment as long as it's touching. Okay? As long as it's touching somewhere. Let's say I choose to place it here. Then I must place my fox in the environment. So I can place him either here or here. right? I can't place it here or here. If you can't place it, it goes back to the cloth bag and you've missed an opportunity. The game ends when these stacks run out. Okay, so there's a limited number of turns in which to place the tiles and inhabit it with wildlife tokens. Let's place the fox here. Because this is a keystone tile and I've placed a wildlife token here, I get to collect one nature token. On a subsequent turn, if I wish to spend the nature token, what that means is instead of taking a pair, I can take a wildlife token from any spot and a tile from any spot. They don't have to be a matching pair. So I might want to do this, for example. Okay, or this. Okay, or this. Wildlife tokens are spent and you earn more through these keystone tiles. That's pretty much it. That's how you spend your turn. In a multiplayer game, you'll be replenishing this offer and other players will get to have their go. In a solo game, what you do instead is you remove the rightmost pair. They're out of the game. These slide down and then you replenish with two more pairs. There's one more rule called overpopulation. If all of these 4 wildlife tokens are the same, they get wiped, placed in the bag, and then refilled. If 3 of them match, let's say that was an eagle, then you have the choice to wipe those 3 and replenish. Okay? But you don't have to. As we play, there's a couple of more things to be aware of. Any unused or unspent nature tokens at the end of the game will score you an extra point, as well as these points. And also the size of habitats. Your largest habitat of each type of terrain, so for example woodlands, at the moment I've got 2 tiles containing woodlands, this would score me 2 points. If I had another woodland over here of 3 connected woodland tiles, that would score me 3 points. Okay, just 3. So it's your largest one of each type of habitat. Right, so there's bonus points to be had, not just from placing your wildlife to match these, but where you place the tiles creates different sized habitats. Okay, let's go again. So I take a pair. Let's take these 2. I'm going to place the prairies here and the fox here. So I'm looking ahead all the time. So I'm trying to create a place where I can get a row of 3 elks, and also I've created a pair of red foxes that I know I can create a pair of elks next to. Right, so thinking about what's where. I could have placed this at this end, but placing it here means there's a potential for making a large prairie. If I put another prairie in here, for example, then I've got a size 3 prairie. Make sense? So always thinking about wildlife and the habitats in your environment. And that's where the joy from the game comes, right? There's extra layers to this game. Right, so those go, everything shuffles down, we draw 2 more. And 2 more pairs of wildlife tokens. Or 2 elks, 2 hawks. Okay, so I probably want the elks. I do have 1 nature token currently from there. So I could potentially take an elk and any one of these 4 tiles. But I'm going to take this one. Now remember, this is the tiles that are going. So if you want these, this is all part of your strategy too. Take the tiles that are rightmost because they're going to disappear if you want them. I could place this here. You can place the wildlife token on the tile you've just placed. You don't have to. So I could place it here. Grab another nature token because it's a keystone tile. These go. Let me shuffle down. So you can see it plays quickly. The time is spent thinking about your next move. Okay. So elks I know I want. So there's an opportunity here to take this. Keep that elk environment going. So I place it here. And if I keep the elks running this way, something like that could work. This one goes. That's a shame. That's a nice tile. Let me shuffle down. Let's refresh. Okay, bears, foxes. Well, this one's tempting, as is this one. We got bears like this and foxes. Yeah, I think I want a bear and a bear. I think maybe these are the ones to take, but I'm going to need to use a nature token. But that's alright, because this is a keystone tile. If I take this, yeah, so I've spent a nature token to take a mismatched pair. But if I place this, then maybe here, then I get to get one back anyway. Okay. So let's remind ourselves, bears score only one group size, any shape, per group of bears with no other bears next to it. Choose a single group size to score. So really you want your biggest group, yeah? Per group. You choose which groups. If I choose to create groups of 2, then if I got 2 groups of 2, that would be 5 points each. Wow, that's pretty good actually. Okay, bears are pretty good. Let's remember that. Right, these shuffle down. This set goes. We refill. Okay, so I might be spending another nature token and grabbing this bear. Although this elk would be useful, actually, because it makes my mountain bigger. But if I take this, I've got nowhere to place the bear, right? So I do want to go for pairs. I will have to spend another nature token, I think. We'll take this bear. If I take this tile, this goes. If I take this tile, this goes. Do you see how there's so many decisions in this, such a simple game? And if I take this one, that elk will line up with that elk. So I'm going to take this, yeah, I'm going to take these two. So nature tokens are really helpful. And these are going to go. Right, where shall I put this? So I want a pair of bears. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Okay, that's the plan. Let's refill. Oh, and we've got another bear. So, do I try and create a group of 3? Or do I go for another group of 2? 2 groups of 3 is going to be tough, but that's a lot of points. The other thing is, if I create 2 groups of 2, at least I've scored 2 groups. I can always add another bear on to make it, yeah, I like that better. 2 groups of 2 is better than trying to score a group of 3. 2 groups of 2 is 10, a single group of 3 is 9. Interesting. I could always think about it later and just take this and make my mountain range bigger. Put the elk here. I don't score. I put it here. I don't. If I got a row of 5, that doesn't score. It's only up to 4 for each single line. Up to 4. Yeah. So I'm going to put it here and grab this Keystone Natured token. Okay, this one goes. Good old shuffle. One. Another bear. So bears are working for me. I've not seen any trout just yet. I would quite like an eagle, but if I take this, that eagle's going to go. If I take this bear, that bear's going to go. There's another eagle here. I'll let that eagle go. I think I'll take these. So I'm actually going to place the bear here. This one goes. That shuffles down. Oh, there's a trout. And another trout. Now the eagle's going to go, but I want the bear. So let's take this, place this in here, because then I've got lots of rivers together. A bear here, Keystone Tile, grab a nature token. I've got 3 now. That messes up this eagle. Oh, think. Maybe I just let the eagle go. Yeah, maybe that wasn't a great placement after all. If I put an eagle here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unoccupied spaces. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Whereas it's only 1 extra point for getting the bigger river. 5 is the maximum, isn't it, for a single eagle. So I like that. So maybe I'll paste the bear here. It doesn't help me with terrain. But I've got a pair of bears next to a pair of foxes now, which is good. I can put another pair in here. Potentially a pair of salmon. That would be good. There you go. There. And there. Alright. So I quite like the idea of taking this salmon. Put one in here like this. Do you see? No, I do lose that salmon. It's a fascinating little puzzle game, right? Oh no. Please don't draw another bear. If I draw another bear, they'll automatically get white. Oof, salmon. Okay, I wanted to keep the bear, so I'm happy with that. Got one. I'm looking at the terrains now. It's a shame we don't have a prairie. So I don't think it matters which one I take. Just take these. And we'll go for our first group of bears. Make our mountain range bigger. 3 bears. These go. And then I'll lose these salmon next time. Fox. Salmon. Nice eagle. I need to get that eagle. Right, this has got to come up. I'm going to take this guy. They don't have to be the same shape, they can be any shape. I've got 2 groups of 3 bears now. You get 20 turns altogether playing solo. Right, 4th elk, that's good. So what I think I'll do is take this one, like so. Place this elk here. I could put it here, actually. This goes. These shuffle down. There. Another salmon would be great. It is a salmon. So I'm going to take that salmon. And place it here. This elk goes. Eagle. Fox. Fascinating game this is. Taking this and I'm not quite sure where to put things, but that eagle's going up here. This bear's going. 2 more tiles. Box. An eagle. Okay. On this one. I just pop that here. It's not great in terms of terrain, but it does give me a salmon run. This one goes. Okay. More salmon. There. Salmon. Okay. That's alright. I want to take this actually, and just this on its own is just pretty good. I can pop it here like that. That goes. And the last one here, an elk. Alright, I think I want that salmon. I haven't got that many turns left. I think I've got 3 left. So I've got to think about where to maximise my points. I think the eagle's worth more. The salmon's worth... Let's get a move from a run of 3 to a run of 4 is just 2 points. Bears are really good. But have I got enough turns to get bears out? Elks are good. A single elk is worth 2 points, just putting an elk here. But if I put an elk here and try and make a row, that devalues this eagle. This is a nice tile. I could get a group of 4 bears, but if I put another bear in here, at the moment I've got 2 groups of 3. If I put a bear in here and make a group of 4, I'm potentially busting, because then this is a group of 3 and a group of 4, so I'm risking another bear coming out. That's too risky. I think that's too risky. Eagles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go from 10 to 15. That's worth 4 points if I get an eagle down. This is tricky. I wonder if this goes... I'm looking at terrain now, I think. So I might actually take this one. See what comes out. Do that. This goes. Got another eagle and a fox. So I think what I'll do is put this one here. Take a nature token, which gives me 4 so far. This goes. And this is the last turn, I think. So, do I take a salmon or do I take an eagle? I think I take an eagle. I think I take an eagle and expand this environment. Okay, this one goes, and if you can't replenish with the tiles that are left, which I can't, then that's the end of the game. And we should have played 20 turns. So there's 23 hexes out here. Yep, right, that's it. Oh, so beautiful, doesn't it look great? Now we've got to score the thing. So, the game comes with a scoring pad. Incidentally, these were the Kickstarter promo cards. Gives you rules for them. There is an intermediate and family variant as well, where you don't score each type of wildlife differently. So it's a nice way to kind of get into the game. Every wildlife scores the same. Okay, it says for family variant, for example, scores all wildlife per group of that wildlife type. So you just group your wildlife types together. All right, let's go ahead and score one by one. So we'll put our Player 1, player 2, whatever you want to do. So it's Ricky here, solo. So score bears first. We go down each animal type one by one. So let's choose group size 3. We've got 2 groups, so it's size, not shape. It doesn't matter if they're same shape, different shape, right? So we've got 2 groups of 3. That's 9 points each. Okay, that's 18 points. Really good. That's great for bears. Elks. For each line, each straight line of elks, we've got 1 straight line of 4. That's 13 points. Great. Salmons. We've got 1 salmon run. Each run of 3, 4, 5, not adjacent to each other. Okay, so we've got 1 run of 4 salmon, that's 12 points. Hawks. Scores for a total number of unoccupied spaces, and there was no habitat tile adjacent to all hawks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this hawk. There's only 4, so that's 9, 5, 5. So 5, 10, 15 plus 4 is 19. 18 plus, 16 plus gives us 14 points. 14 for hawks. Yeah, we shorted ourselves here. We should have gone for 20 points. Yeah, we came out 19. I miscalculated. Yeah, placing this one here lost us some points, but we got an extra salmon run, and it may actually help us when we come to score the prairies. Right, foxes last. Foxes. Score for each fox pair the number of unique adjacent animal pairs. Right, the foxes do not count. Animal pairs next to the foxes. 1, 2, 3 pairs. Okay, that's 9 points. Okay, 9 points for foxes. If we total that up, that is 66 points for wildlife. Now we go and score each of our largest habitats. So mountains first. We've got a contiguous range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mountains here. That's probably our largest. In a multiplayer game, you'll get bonus points if you've got the largest out of all players. In the solo game, each habitat group of 7 or more gives you a bonus of 2 points. So that's actually 7 plus 2 bonus points for it being 7 or more. Woodlands, we didn't do very well. We've got a size 2 here, we got a size 2 here. I think 2 is our largest, so no bonus points there. Prairies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is good with a bonus of 2, being 7 or more. Wetlands, again, we didn't do very good here. We got 2, I think, is our biggest. Yep. And then rivers, we got 1, 2 here. Yeah, again, just 2. That's not great. So that's a total of 26 for habitats. We finished the game with 4 nature tokens, giving us a grand total of 96 points. That's a really good score. I'm happy with that. There is a chart here that says 90 plus is excellent. 110 is your target. There we go. So that's how you play it. Like I said, there are achievements to be had. Okay. To make the game a little bit more interesting for you. Okay, they can be played in multiplayer or solo mode. Knock yourself out. Lots of variability. Great artwork from Beth. Lots of different ways to score your animals. So to start the game, bears, use a score for numbers of pairs. Elks, straight lines elks. There's lots of different varieties on scoring each animal type. Okay. In the basic game, a hawk scores for not be adjacent to another hawk. So much variability in this game. So much beauty to enjoy in the artwork. That's Cascadia. I hope you've enjoyed watching this demonstration of the solo game. I've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.